Hey Stamping friends, welcome to the Joy of Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon, and today I'm showing you my 30 days worth of Christmas cards from the hashtag 30 days Christmas card making challenge that I did with Martin Stone. These are great fun cards, and it really pushed me hard to think, because this was a challenge. And it really was. So I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera and I can start to tell you a little bit more about each card that I made over this past month. Hold real quick. Alright. We are going to start. I have a pile of them. I want to be able to show you them all and then pick maybe my top 3 that I liked and tell you a little bit about each card. So this one's was a color challenge one, and I had to use these 3 colors to make a Christmas card, which if you look at it, these are not very traditional Christmas colors at all. But it did look very much like candy to me. So I had to make this candy card using these candy canes right here, and I reversed this one. And so that way it would make the fun little heart with that one. That one's really fun. It's not my favorite, but it's pretty fun, and it did make me think really hard. I have this one right here that I loved, and I'm trying to think, oh, this was, I think, the floral one. I had to use something floral for Christmas, and that can be kind of tricky because Christmas technically is not a very floral time. It's usually winter and snow and cold, and so this one I had to use this poinsettia paper, and I actually really like the way this one turned out. This one is one of my favorites. There's a theme that was for, I think this was the Christmas tree one. And I just love the way this one turned out, using this plaid tidings paper and emboss the tree and then have it coming popping through right there. This is one of my favorites for sure. Then we had one where we had to use different techniques. So this one was a kind of like a sponging technique. I think he called it ink blending for this one, and I was at loss. I'm like, what am I going to make? And so I decided to look at a stamp set that had this saying, "Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining." And I said, oh, that would be perfect. We'll make it kind of like a starry sky. So that was a fun one. This one, he had one that said, "Be green like the Grinch." So I took that pretty literal, and I made a Christmas card looking like the Grinch. I was inspired by a couple different punch artists on Pinterest and then pieced it together to figure out what would work for me. I love his little heart right there. He is one of my favorites for sure. This one, I'm trying to remember I think it was the color combo again. Those color combo ones were tricky because you pick things in there like this pink, and usually pink isn't a very Christmassy color. So I decided to make some pink tights on this cute little elf and added a lot of pink hair that I embossed. This one was a fun fold, so it has that flap that opens up there. Super cute and easy, not too bad. Wasn't my favorite, but it was up there. I love this one. He said, do one that reminds you of, I think, Christmas or driving home, or what Christmas would look like kind of thing. And this one, I really, really liked how it turned out. I use these purple mountains here that I embossed, and you can see that with a heating emboss powder. And then I have the dry emboss underneath it as well for the snowflakes. I grew up a lot in the Rocky Mountains, the Purple Mountains Majesty, and so this was definitely a fun one for me. I did use a retired saying because it was perfect. There's no place like home for the holidays. So that was a fun one. We also had layout challenges. So this was one here where you had the centerpiece here, a middle piece, 3 different things, and some saying. So this one is not a favorite. It's okay. It's kind of, I don't know how to describe this one. It works, but not a favorite. This is one of the first ones I made. I think it was like, "Brr, it's cold outside." And so I went pretty literal, and I put "brr" on there. And I love it, though, because I embossed just a little bit. I sponged embossed this white powder on there to look like frost on those letters. So that one's a super fun one for me. This was another, I think, layout challenge. This time, though, I flipped over my snowflakes. Let's see if you see that. So they are de-embossed. You can look at this one and see how these ones pop up and these ones are flatter. And then I added these snowflakes there for that layout. Super fun and cold looking. This one, I'm trying to think what the same, if this was, I don't know. Oh, maybe it was the color. Maybe it was a candy cane. Had to have candy cane something on it. So I used these Swedish border dies here to get those candy canes. And little candy cane like pieces there. Those mint candies. That one's fun. Oh, maybe this was no, this was, I don't even know the theme of this one. But this is really cool because I ended up using, let's see if we can see that clearly, sorry. I clear embossed it on white. So this is the clear paper of white underneath it. And then I went over with a sponge brayer and changed this whole white paper to red. And it just turned out really pretty, kind of bright, the way that ink is there. And that's the inside and the cute little flames right there. That's a fun one. Oh, this one had to have a tail on it, or a creature with a tail of some sort. So I had these cute little raccoons just sitting there needing a home that I had made up for a previous card and added them to this very simple Christmas wishes card. Super cute. This one was a watercoloring one. I am not a watercoloring pro at all. In fact, I don't like how I end up making these pretty blotchy or dark. I was trying to get them a darker color to it, but not a favorite, but definitely a fun technique to try. This one, I think, was a layout, and I love this snowman. He has the best saying. The sadly, Frosty's first hot cocoa turned out to be his last, and that was an easy, fun layout to do for this one, and I used more of the blues instead of the regular reds and greens. This one was supposed to have, I think, people outside or people being cold or something, or all bundled up, and this was one that I had made at a stamp camp and shared for that day. That one's super fun. Oh, we had a Scrooge theme day, and so I fussy cut this cute little grumpy cat out of the DSP, the Playful Pets, and gave him a Santa hat and cut some letters, and we had one awesome Scrooge kitty cat there. That's a really fun one. I loved these trees. This was, I think, a layout one, and I just really love building the trees with those triangle shapes. You'll see a lot of my favorites include those trees. This was a color combo. I used not a single bit of Whisper White. Instead, I used this, I want to say it was gray granite as the card base, and the main layering of it, where you would usually use Whisper White, I use that gray granite instead. What I do love about this one are, oh no, this one shifted. It's so hot in my house right now. Things are just melting all over the place. All right, so I love the rhinestones on this one and how the stamping images behind it. So that one is a good one. Here's another color combo one that was kind of crazy, but it shows a really cool thing to do. So I use those Swedish border dies, and I cut it out in the old olive, and then I did it again, just a little strip of it, to make these berries for that centerpiece right there, and then glued them all in. So that one's a fun one with the candles on the inside. All is calm, all is bright. Not very traditional, but very colorful. This one's super basic, and this was a card layout one. And I love how his image here just kind of like melds with the DSP behind it. He's from the Don't Stop Believing stamp set, and he's pretty cute. Here's another color combo. Oh my goodness. This one was hard. Look how masculine these color combos look. They honestly look like a football team's jersey or something. And so this was a tricky one for me, but I really like this embossing folder right here. It's super 3D-like. See how that lays? And then I used the dies for the Merry Christmas, and I dotted my little eye with the rhinestone. Color combo is kind of crazy, but the idea of it's not too bad. They had one that you're supposed to use either bows or some sort of presents. So we did a little bit of both. We made some presents with bows. where it's all wrapped up. And this one turned out pretty cute. I did like this one. This would be a fun one to do with scraps. And I have that white paper inside. That's a good one. Then they had a chalkboard themed one. So let me see if you can see this one okay. This is all heat embossed, where I've used Versamark and then the powder, the white embossing powder, and I heated it up with my heating tool, and it made it look like a chalkboard. I'm losing my holly. That was right here in the center, but it probably could go almost anywhere. I'm telling you guys, it's melting in here in my house. We're so hot here in California today. All right, but that one I really like this technique of how to make it look like a chalkboard. So we'll put that in my favorites pile. This one was my very last one, and I love it. Use the Peaceful Nativity, and it's hard to see because it's black. There we go. Catch a shine there. I wanted to look like shadows of the night. I was just looking at the major scene, and I love how that turned out. And I did a lot of brayer inking on the back to give that gradual look to that paper that used to be Whisper White. That's one of my favorites as well. And I have a handful more. These ones you've probably all seen because I've done them for a class. This is my contemporary one where I had to use more gold or things that are more contemporary. This one is really pretty and lots of texture. Definitely one of my favorites. This one we're supposed to use pieces. So I use lots of pieces of green to make the tree. And then this one, I don't know if I shared this one or not. I might have. This one has that fun gift card holder in it. That was a good one. And then, of course, this tree one. This one's probably one of my favorites out of all of them. So let me get my favorites out. Do you see them? My trees, that tree one, my contemporary tree, my nativity one, my chalkboard one, my skinny tree, my mountains, my Grinch, and my fun pop-up tree there. All right, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed watching those or got a chance to look through them all with me. I've shared them all month long, and I'm kind of sad that the month has come to an end, and yet kind of relieved because I'm not worrying about what I'm going to make tonight to show you guys and to complete that challenge. Definitely was a challenge, and it was great, though, for me to try different things what I don't like. I hope you guys like some of it and were inspired. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy stamping, everyone.